Well, this afternoon we're connecting Arizona with the story of an East Valley teenager. Nathaniel Ross has a rare condition that causes his body to reject almost every kind of food. So potatoes, rice, and pepperoni, of all things, are pretty much all that he can eat for every meal. Recently, the Mesa teen got a big league surprise to help spread the word about the condition he's been dealing with. Kevin Kennedy shares Nathaniel's story.
Well, this is puke in a can.
You heard Nathaniel right. He called that puke in a can, but it's also his main source of nutrients for 2 meals every day.
I have 8 safe foods.
What he means by that is his body can only tolerate 8 foods without making him extremely sick.
I could have rice, potatoes, 1 brand of pizza sauce, some wheat products.
He has a rare condition called
Eosinophilic Esophagitis.
Otherwise known as EOE. It is an autoimmune disease he was born with.
My body thinks food is a poison, so it creates too many white blood cells called eosinophils, and then it attacks my body, and that causes my esophagus to have a lot of scar tissue, and which could be really dangerous.
Although not much can go in his mouth without hurting him, a lot comes out of his head to help others.
So a superhero finds out he has EOE.
A few years ago, he wrote a book to help others understand what it's like to cope with his disease. He wanted to make sure it was more than informative, that it would be entertaining.
Food Man comes and saves Mr. Noodles.
Food Man, the hero in the story, has to figure out how to live with his condition while continuing to do his good deeds.
I didn't think anyone would actually want to buy it, but I've sold over 300 copies and it's gone to 5 countries. The
purpose of the adventures of Food Man is to let kids with EOE know they're not alone. And just in the past few weeks, Nathaniel learned there is a Food Man in the sports world. Outfielder Drew Stubbs of the Colorado Rockies.
I don't know if he's aware, but he is now a hero for tons and tons of kids, because everyone's like, whoa, if he can play for Major League Baseball, I can do anything.
In late February, Stubbs was benched during a spring training game due to a flare-up of EOE. It made the major leaguer an even bigger deal to this young fan.
I'm like, I feel you, bro. I'm like, I know how that is, having to sit out on something or having to play through the pain.
Before the Rockies finished up spring training here in the Valley last month, we wanted to get Nathaniel and Drew together. They have this horrible condition in common with each other. So coming up in the next half hour of EVB Live, we were there when they met for the first time, and Nathaniel learns how Drew deals with EOE while playing big league baseball.
It can be lonely being a kid with a rare disease, but an East Valley teen recently found out he shares his condition with a Major League Baseball player who happened to be here for spring training. Before the big leaguer left town, we wanted to help this young man ask his new hero how he competes at the highest level. Kevin Kennedy has the story.
Drew Stubbs was hours from the Rockies' last spring training game in Scottsdale before returning to Denver for the regular season. Nathaniel Ross was up very early on a weekend. The Major League ball player and the 7th grader needed an early start to talk about a big part of their lives.
How you doing? I'm Drew.
I'm Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, too.
Both have the same autoimmune disease. We will let Nathaniel say it.
Eosinophilic Esophagitis.
It's probably about your age when I first started kind of having it, and it was very sporadic.
I still have, reactions to foods and stuff, but I don't let it stop me.
The condition? Nathaniel, help us out.
Eosinophilic esophagitis.
Makes their bodies react to food like it is poison. In Nathaniel's case, he only has 8 foods he can eat without getting sick. For Drew, reactions are rare, but when they happen...
Yeah, I feel it when it's like you get stuck kind of deep in your esophagus and you feel the reaction kind of come on and your throat spasming and so forth. And
Nathaniel knows the feeling, and he is thrilled to talk with someone with his condition.
So a lot of the kids with EOE play sports, but they get tired pretty fast. So how do you keep your energy up?
I haven't noticed it affecting me outside of when I'm having the reaction itself.
Do you know that since we found out that you have EOE, a lot of kids look up to you now? Do you know that?
I didn't know that. And I think it's just something along the lines of you don't find many people that experience it, and so whenever you can talk about it with someone else, it is nice to share your stories and kind of what you go through and have somebody to sympathize with.
Great to see them meeting, and Nathaniel's quite the reporter in the making, isn't he? Nathaniel does not let EOE slow him down. He just finished performing in a play. He belongs to a competitive yo-yo club, and he speed solves Rubik's Cubes, and that's tough. Mark?
And the thing about it is, and you see it all the time with these young kids that have some horrible diseases, they're forced to grow up so quickly and become so well versed in their disease, and Nathaniel's a perfect example of that. He knows, and he should, but it's kind of sad that he's been forced to grow up and learn that much about his condition.
Yeah, he's obviously an expert on it now. He could ask the questions just like a reporter would. That was really cute.
He's a great young man. All right, thanks.